Hello everybody and welcome to Immediate Meteorology. In this video we will be talking about our fall forecast for the 2020 fall season, including temperature, precipitation, and the overall forecast. Before the video starts, if you like weather content like this, please hit the like and subscribe button and hit the bell to never miss an upload. Let's jump right in. So first, here we are looking at our temperature forecast, and the reason why I'm uploading my fall forecast now is because in meteorology, fall starts in only 3 days, because August has 31 days, and in meteorology, fall starts on September 1st. I know with the solstice and the way the sun goes and all that, technically fall starts around the end or mid of September, but in meteorology, we just round it up to the beginning of the month. So first, we are going to go ahead and look at our above average temperatures, just like how we kind of did for summer, and I'm pretty sure last year's fall too. Obviously, usually it's like this, above average temperatures for basically the western United States, including the southwest United States, some of the south central United States, and the northwestern United States, and also the Rockies. So we have a regular above average and a moderate above average in place here. Our regular above average spans across places like Texas all the way up to Washington State and Oregon, so quite a big area there. And then our moderately above average is mainly just for Arizona, California, and Nevada, and some of Utah and Oregon is getting some of that as well. Now, as you can see in the bottom left, Alaska and Hawaii are included in this. So Hawaii is looking to also have slightly above normal temperatures. They usually do all year. Obviously, they're all the way in the Pacific, and it stays pretty warm out there. So that's what we have there. Now we're moving on to our cooler, below average temperatures. Now, I live in one of the states in the cooler temperature region, and I prefer this because I really like the cold. I prefer winter and fall over summer and spring. Spring is fine, but I really like fall and winter. So when we go ahead and look at our below average category, also slight and moderately below average. Sometimes in place during winter, there is sometimes highly below average temperatures, especially for the Midwest and northern portions in New England. But for now, obviously, we only have it up to moderately. All this below average area spans from the southeast all the way up to the Dakotas and even a bit of Minnesota. So stretching quite a big span, and not only there, but also up to New England, like we usually see every year. So, our regular below average is covering places like South Carolina, North Carolina, so all of the southeast, the Mid-Atlantic, New England, South Central United States a bit, the Great Plains, and the Midwest. So we could see definitely some below average temperatures here, especially for September through November, mainly October and November, I'd say, but September still has that chance too. For places like the southeast, they usually get their colder temperatures by mid or end October, and then places like New England and the Midwest are already getting their colder temperatures, while the Mid-Atlantic and Ohio Valley will be getting theirs around mid or end of September. Now for our moderately below average region, this is basically only for the Midwest, including Illinois, Missouri, Iowa, Wisconsin, also a bit of Minnesota there, Indiana, and then a little area of Ohio as well. If on the bottom left, you can also see that Alaska is included in the slightly below average. Obviously, Alaska is cold all year, so obviously it's going to be below average just a bit. Alright, with all that said, we are moving on to our regular precipitation forecast. So what we could expect, obviously it could always change. That's why I said regular. This is our closest forecast. We'll go ahead and start with a below average there for the Great Plains, South Central U.S., Four Corner States, and even some of the southwestern United States, also stretching into the Midwest. Now we could see slightly below average precipitation there, which is kind of good. Also for the fact that this is going to help it stay pretty cool there for the Midwest, because there's not really any rain and the sun is able to do all that stuff and easily turn into the not summer solstice, fall solstice. I'm not even sure if it's called that, something like that. But the main area I want to look at is the moderately below average section for Kansas, Oklahoma, northern Texas, New Mexico, and Colorado. So very below average precipitation there. They could even have some droughts here and there. But that isn't too rare for places like Colorado and New Mexico, and even just Oklahoma, Kansas, and Texas at this time of the year. Obviously, it's severe weather season. They get storms and rain all the time, so it's not really possible. Now, moving on to our above average regions. The main areas they are in is the northwestern United States and all of the east coast United States. So if we go to our above average region for precipitation, we have it for the southeast, mid-Atlantic, and New England as well. So basically all of the east coast. And then we do have a moderately below average region. I keep saying below, above average region for South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida, as they usually get those storms during beginning and early fall. Now to the northwest, our moderately below average is mainly there for Washington State, also stretching a bit into Oregon. And then we have our regular above average there for Minnesota, Idaho, and Oregon. So obviously above average there. And those areas up there are looking to see more storm-like above average precipitation, as how the eastern coast would probably most likely see just general weak thunderstorms or just even patches of showers and rain. Alright, to the big picture of today's video. This is what you saw in the thumbnail. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8 categories here. We have hot and wet, less snow, hot and dry, pretty cold, hot at times, fall rain, active tropics, and just general it being cold, but not as much as pretty cold. We'll start in the northwestern, hot and wet. As we look at the past two slides I just showed you, we did have high precipitation, so that's wet, and then we did have high temperature forecasts, so that also guarantees with hot, so that's why I put hot and wet. So the thunderstorms up there will, as it's hot, the thunderstorms will develop and cause it to become wet as well. And because of that being hotter in those regions up there, in that orange region, we have less snow for basically the northern and even central Rockies. They could see less snow than they usually see in the beginning. I would say more of the beginning of the fall season than the middle and end. The middle and end they most likely will, and same with winter. Unless it ends up like last year, and we don't want to remember that, because 2019's winter and fall was horrible, especially for the eastern side of the United States, especially since they usually expect cold temperatures. It was not cold at all. Highs were in the 80s, upper 70s. One time it even reached 90s for, I'm pretty sure, Kentucky or Virginia, which is absolutely crazy for the months of November and December. As we move on, we're looking at hot and dry. This is a very big trend in my forecast, hot and dry for the Southwest, because it is true, just all the time of the year, it's just hot, it's dry at most times. Sometimes it could definitely cool down. There's definitely a chance of that. I'm not saying there isn't, but most of the time, it's hot and dry. That's all I can really say. Speaking of hot and dry, we have hot at times for the south central U.S. That includes places like Oklahoma, Texas, Kansas, Colorado, New Mexico, Arkansas, Missouri, and Louisiana. Obviously, we could have very hot shots, I guess you could say. So some days it'll be really hot out, some days it'll be pretty cool out, nice breeze, all that. So for now, it should be just hot shots, so hot at times. Our next region, which I'm pretty sure is, this is the biggest region. I put actually I put the light blue and ocean blue together because this is gonna be like pretty cold, I guess you could say. So as we saw in the below average temperature region, they had a big impact in the Midwest, and then with the with the precipitation forecast, we also had below average reaching into some of those areas. So we have pretty cold, and when I say pretty cold, I mean really cold for those dark blue areas, and then just pretty cold for those light blue areas. So basically all of the Midwest, north central plains, and some of the Ohio Valley. That also includes Alaska. Obviously, it's always cold, so that's why it's pretty cold. So our next region is sort of a cyan color fall rain. That includes the southeast, Ohio Valley, and a bit of the mid-Atlantic. So basically, what I mean is kind of like, I guess you could say, a winter battle zone. It could be hot at times, cold at times, mainly cold at times because of our below average temperature region is also in there. But when I say cold at times and hot at times, I mean there could be rain sometimes, there could be rain all day. And what we're seeing is that in that fall rain section, we could have those type of days where it's really cold out or even really hot out, and it's just raining, pouring all day. No severe threat, not really a thunderstorm, just a plain old rain all day long, ends at nighttime, just sticks around there all day long. Our next region is the pink region, active tropics. Obviously, like it says, active tropics. I would say this is more for the southeast Gulf Coast and the southern Atlantic coast, really, but I still stretch it all the way up to the mid-Atlantic because you never know, just like how it happened with Dorian and all that stuff. It definitely traveled north and hit those areas. Now for our final region, we have cold. Basically, no, actually it is for New England. So maybe not pretty cold, not really cold, just cold. So maybe 60s, 70s, upper 60s. So just cold, and then eventually, once we get deeper into fall, it will become pretty cold. And same basically for the southeast, mid-Atlantic, and obviously already the Midwest. One thing I forgot to point out is Hawaii. They're under the hot and dry region. Just like every year, they're always hot and dry, especially out there in the Pacific. Alright, with that, that's the end of this video. If you like this video and other content like this, please hit the like and subscribe button and hit the bell to never miss an upload. My next forecast will most likely be for October, so by the end of September. If not, then it would be for November, and then obviously it definitely will be one by then. And then at the end of November, I'll have a forecast out for winter, and maybe even this month or October, I'll put out an early winter forecast. Alright, with that, I thank you all for watching this video, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.